We almost done with this series. This is the last Squid Game Season 2 video. And this season was amazing. This season was probably the best season I've ever watched. This season was cinema. We will be breaking down episodes 6 and 7 for Squid Game Season 2. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get straight into it. We start off from the last game when they were playing Mingle. Now, Mingle was a game where a certain amount of players had to enter the room at a certain amount of time. If say there's a room where it has to be 3 people in there. 3 people have to be in the room. If 2 people are in the room, you will be sent to the gulag. The people who are outside, you will be sent to the gulag. Anything that doesn't meet the correct number, you will be sent. So the first round starts off with 10 players in a room. Obviously, everything is going fine. They get into their rooms. This game is actually bringing out the worst in people. Like, it's getting bad, okay? But as they're in the room, remember that weird lady I told y'all that I was trying to give Yoon some neck, right? She's in the room with them and basically says, you were basically supposed to be sent to the gulag a long time ago. But you're here for a reason. This has to be your destiny, right? And you gotta think about it. You know, he survived the first games out of 456 players. He was the one to survive. Now he's made it this far with only about 200 players remaining. You're still here. Like, you are meant to be here. You know, it all is foreshadows for season 1. But there ends up becoming a round where it comes to 2. There's about 100 something players remaining and there's 50 rooms. So Gyung goes with someone else while Inho takes his friend, Junbei. Inho and Junbei end up trying to get into a room. Junbei gets pulled down by another competitor. So Inho gets into his room. The dude who pulled him down is trying to get into the room. Obviously, he kicks him out. He kicks him out to get Junbei into the room. Now there's 3 people in the room. Inho basically tells the man, yeah, you gotta get out, bro. Like, get out of here. Of course, bro's like, I was here first. Gyung breaks his neck. He breaks his neck. Tom runs out. Remember, like I told y'all, if there's not enough people or there's too many people in the room, you're sent to the gulag. So I'm trying to wonder, how did they end up surviving? Did they end up saying that he was already dead before he got in here, so they let him survive? There's a lot of questions that can be asked. I wonder what happened in that room. We cut back to the island. We cut back to the island of them being on the drone, and they end up going to an island and ends up finding a hatch. Now they end up finding a hatch, so they decide to go on foot to go and search. But we cut back to the Squid Game. The Squid Game ends up being, the winnings end up being, after everyone was killed, about 356 million won. But they go ahead and they get ready to start another vote to see if they're gonna leave the Squid Games, okay? We cut back to the guys on the island. The guys on the island end up pulling up to the hatch, and bro, it ends up exploding. I'm like, bro, I watched the video and it turns out when it ends up explodes, everyone flinches but the sailor. Now, I've always said something was up with the sailor. To be honest, I always knew something about him. That little bit confirms my theory a little bit. I knew he was a part of the games. He doesn't know where the islands are. He doesn't know where he picked up Junho from. Like, he doesn't know anything. Surprisingly, he doesn't know where he sails, even though he's been sailing for about quote-unquote 30 years. Cut back to the Squid Game. The vote ends up being a 50-50 vote. 50-50 vote goes into the third rule. The third rule basically means that they have to regroup the next day and vote again. We can kind of tell where this is going. They want them to vote again to get rid of each other. Junbei, they're eating their food. The X's and the O's start arguing with each other because they're basically trying to figure out, like, yo, you should join our side. Now you should join our side. And it's like split up in between. There's a line in between them. They're arguing. As Junho starts to notice that, wow, there's a fork in my food. Remember, the whole time they've been eating with basically the sporks, the spoon and the fork basically combined. That's what they've been eating with. But they have a fork this time, a real fork. He knows exactly where this is gonna go. This is going to start a brawl. And that's exactly what happens. It starts in the restroom as they're trying to make the X's basically convert. Thanos is trying to make someone convert to their side, and of course the YouTuber basically comes in there like, yo, everyone, they're trying to make someone convert to their side, and it starts a big fight and a big brawl. And the YouTuber is the one who starts it off, stabbing Thanos in the throat. Stabs him in the throat in the middle of the fight. They all start stabbing each other. And that concludes episode 6 of Squid Game. Now, I've been loving doing this series so far. I'm not really like one of those recap niggas. At the end of the day, I am a streamer, and I usually would talk about this on live stream, and I just give a B-roll behind so we can just keep y'all entertained and engaged. So episode 7 starts off with everyone basically just sending each other to the gulag like crazy. Squid Game officers end up stopping the fight as they come through the intercom and basically start saying that other players have been eliminated. As they're starting to walk back in, basically each side is telling each other, nah, y'all started it, and the prize money. We're gonna cut back to the crew. I remember when I told you I've always been suspicious of the sailor the entire time. One of the military guys ends up having to go and puke. I guess he's getting seasick, and walks outside and catches the sailor messing with the drone. He's just like, yo, what are you doing? You said you don't know what the drone is. Like, he basically been playing stupid the whole time, act like he doesn't know what it is, what it does, nothing. Sailor's like, yo, like, what are you doing messing with the drone? He was like, nah, I'm getting tired. Like, I was just decided to do something because it's raining. He was basically sabotaging the drone. Bro is trying to walk away, the sailor. The military guy's like, yo, stop acting. Like, as soon as he said stop acting, the sailor stabbed him, sent him to the lobby, and then threw him off the map. And guess what makes me even more mad? After he proceeds to do that, the fucking random comes outside, bro. Fucking random comes outside and asks me, oh, I heard screaming, wooty woo, and the sailor's obviously like, yo, it was just a wave. You see all this stuff is knocked down. Like, You should go get some sleep. Immediately shutting it down. And he's just like, oh, okay. Didn't do any inspection, didn't do anything, bro. Like, I already knew, like in my last video, I had said that I think the sailor is a part of the crew. I think he is a part of what's going on. I think he's on their payroll to basically never find these islands. So each team is plotting on how they should basically survive the nighttime. Well, Gillen is basically already giving them the rundown. He's basically giving the rundown, yo, they're basically gonna try to attack us because they want to win the boat tomorrow. And of course, Inho, he's like, okay, then we should attack them first. And of course, Gillen says, yo, we're gonna be playing right into their hands if we fight each other. We should try and take the fight to the people who run the games. Gillen suggests that they should take the guns when the fight starts. Okay, because when the fight starts, there's gonna be so much chaos around. There's no reason to where we can't get the guns. Okay, as soon as the lights out goes out, Gillen's plan is to basically get under the beds to basically play dead when the fighting is over to take the guns from the Squid Game workers. Of course, Inho is like, so you're just gonna let some of the exes, people that are on his team, you're gonna let some of them die to make an opening. And Gillen's basically like, kind of has to happen that way, basically. Like, it has to happen that way for the greater good. You know, for the long run, you know, we can win this fight. We can end the games right now. And you could just see a smile in Inho's face. He's basically like, this is exactly what I want you to do. They check their bodies, the people who are hiding under the bed, and they start the ambush. They start taking the guys down. They start shooting them. They start being a whole shootout. Gillen is actually about to get shot, and Inho saved his life by shooting one of the workers. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy, bro. Like, he just saved this man's life. The officer basically, he's seeing everything that's going on. He's seeing them try to fight back. So he tells the guards to get ready because they start taking out cameras. They start basically they can't even see what's going on right now. So he basically tells the guards to get ready. This is about to be a firefight. Guillaume basically gives them a rundown like, hey, they've been getting us to fight each other. We're gonna stop these games for good. Well, we need people to help us. They kept one Squid Game worker alive. They basically said, yo, you're gonna take us to the control room. You're gonna take us to the management room. As soon as they're starting to move to the control and management room, the ambush starts. It starts to become a whole freaking shootout. Like, if I could show it on the screen, y'all would be like, yo, what the hell? So as they win the first ambush. They win the first ambush that comes through as they walk to the management and control room. He tells them how to get there. But he tells Gillen that he needs a mask to get through. This is when them proceeding a little bit more. As he starts to notice and give Gillen the mask, he noticed that Inho is behind him. Now, I know they've all seen the mask man. The mask man name is Inho. They've all seen him before. So he's noticing like, you're with these guys? Like, what the fuck? So he's just staring at him with like a weird face. Instantly gets 300 pumped right from across the map. And then the second ambush starts. As the firefight is starting, Gillen basically tells him, yo, we need to get to the room. You guys need to hold it down. Inho is basically like, yo, do you need us to come with you? He's like, nah, Junbei, come with me. You just stay down here and you buy us some time. So they proceed to go to the room. He scans himself in. They get into another firefight. Now look, being in a gunfight with your best friend probably has to be one of the coolest things that I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, you gotta think about it. They were most likely gonna end up being killed by them anyway. They decide, you know what? We're gonna take the fight to them. If we're killed this way, I would rather be killed shooting back than not being able to shoot at all, which I think is kind of fire. This isn't Call of Duty. This is basically they're serving as this is real life. They're running out of bullets. They radio Inho in basically saying, yo, we're out of bullets. Like we may need some help. And Inho's telling them, yo, we're running out of bullets. We might need some help. So one of the soldiers that was Junbei's, one of his military guys, he's scared the whole time. He's been blind shooting. He's been wilding. He basically says that he'll go back and get the bullets. Right, he'll go back and get the bullets. He's scared as shit. As they're running out of bullets in the firefight, though, the two soldiers that they knocked down, he basically tells, hey, Junbei, you have to cover me for us to get more bullets. If we don't get any more bullets, we're done. But as he's walking back to get behind cover, he's grazed by a bullet. As he's shot, Inho basically, he comes with two other guys to basically meet up with him to help him. He tells Inho, yo, if you can find a way behind them or find a way into the room, we can basically get out of this if y'all figure something out. He takes the two guys behind and they find another way behind them. Inho sends the two guys above. He's basically like, yo, y'all go. And he finally fucking turns on them and shoots them in the back, bro. I'm like, nigga, what? Because I thought he was turning over a new leaf on the cool, but I was like, in the back of my head, like I told y'all, I knew he was always going to turn. I just didn't know how. He basically says, he tells Gil, yo, it's over. Like, they got us pinned down. And the guy that he shot, he's basically using his voice to basically portray that it's him, that he's faking this death, uses the extra clip that Gil gave him and finished him off. Sent them to the lobby. And I thought that was so fire. Like, I low-key starting to like his character because he played it all the way up until the end. He played his part. He acted like he was cool with them. He shot some of the workers. He saved Gil June's life, all for the satisfaction of killing his pride at the end and killing his mindset at the end. After he fakes his death, he's worried, and Inho gets on the radio and says, yo, let's wrap this shit up, okay? All the Squid Game workers end up putting these guys down quick and in a hurry. Some were offing themselves, some were killed. They start trying to surrender. They go into the moon, they put his hands up. Him and Jubei, they put their hands up. They get on their knees. And Inho comes back as the masked man. He went and put on his suit and mask and went to confront him. He said, did you have fun playing the hero? Did you really have fun? Like, was this all you wanted? Right? He was basically trying to show him that, like, yeah, what you did meant nothing. It was just a waste of time. And he proceeds to drop another bomb on him, like he's been dropping on him since he met him. He says, now these are the consequences for your actions. Keep in mind, he has the gun pointed at him. You know, in Junho's mind, you know, he's content. If this is the way he goes out by trying to take the games down by shooting and taking a couple people out who've killed people, he's fine with it. Went out with a shootout with his best friend, he's cool with it. You know what happens? He moves the gun away from bro, shot his friend. He shot Junbei. I'm like, nigga, no. I actually fuck with his character. Like, I fucked with his character heavy. And after he shoots him, the masked man walks away and keeps Yoon alive. And of course, Yoon is crying in pain. He's basically like, no, like, should have been me. And he gets up and tries to attack the masked man. Of course, they stop him. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna make him continue to play the games. Now look, this season is really just amazing. Like, from start to finish, he played his part well. He's making him basically suffer, like, to where, like, there's nothing you can do to get yourself out of this. Okay, you're here. And we're gonna take out everything that you love and that you care about. That you're not gonna be the hero of this story. So what do I think is gonna happen for season 3? I have no clue. I don't know how. I know they're gonna win this. I just don't know how they're gonna win it. Killed your best friend, killed so many people, and he kept you alive. Even though all the destruction you just caused, you just got all these people killed, you done killed some people. It doesn't matter. As long as you think that you can make a change and you realistically can't, that makes this day. And season 2 was a success. Season 3 is gonna be way better. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been covering these a lot more. I'm gonna cover season 3. This will probably be the only series I do when I like covering TV shows, unless you guys have any suggestions in the comment section. If you want to go watch me make these videos live, hit the link in the description where the Twitch channel is, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.